Hello and welcome to my virtual learner profile. My name is Michael Accardi and today I'm going to be discussing Marco Moretti. Marco Moretti is a 6-year-old boy from Coburg, Victoria. He lives at home with his mother Maria and his stepfather John, and of course his 3 sisters. Marco's parents divorced, so his biological father divorced from his mother when he was just 4 years old, and he didn't really take that very well. He gets to see his father 2 days a week, but sometimes that just makes things difficult as he can misbehave when he comes back from his dad's house. So growing up, he spoke Italian in the household as his father was born in Italy and his mother Maria is half Italian and half Greek. So despite only starting to learn English when his stepfather John came into his life, Marco became proficient at both languages rather quickly. However, due to his stutter, he often remains quiet in class and he feels embarrassed. So he has a speech impediment and it often hinders his ability to participate in class. So apart from this, he's still extremely talented in mathematics and PE, and his efforts in tests have shown that he's way above the standards, far exceeding the standards of a Year 1 student. He also really enjoys sports, so Maria and John enrolled him into his local soccer club at Pascoe Vale. Okay, so my first classroom connection is about Gardner's multiple intelligences. So Marco used to find it hard in class to be actively engaged until he moved up a grade to Year 1 and his teacher started to choose learning activities based off Gardner's ideas of multiple intelligences. So pretty much Gardner's multiple intelligence suggests that there's different intelligences, and some people have some intelligences and some have others, and obviously you've got to group them together. So some may be people smart and body smart, but not very logic smart. In Marco's case, he's very logically and mathematically gifted, and he's also quite linguistic as well. However, it's a bit difficult in this case as he understands language and he understands how to learn them well, but he just can't pronounce them and say it how he wants to. So because of this, Marco tends to get a bit angry at times and frustrated, so he tends to stay quiet in class and just not engage in discussion, as he knows that he'll take longer to say it than he wants to, and being a kid, he might feel a bit embarrassed about it. But yeah, his teachers did notice that he's extremely logical and likes to learn things using numerical patterns, and likes to be really logical and just think deeper into things. So the teacher should try and have a nice blend of activities with collaborative learning that encompass these specific intelligences to truly get the most out of Marco's learning. For example, Marco's fast superior to his classmates in maths, therefore the teacher should give additional worksheets. This ensures that all students with varying capabilities have learning goals that keep them challenged and focused. So another thing that might work for the teacher would be to allow Marco to watch and engage in class activities and then talk with him on his own to further gauge his understanding for assessment. By doing this, the teacher can create a positive climate in the classroom by focusing on what the students can do and using these strengths to address areas in which students are having difficulty. So just because he can't, well, he can, but just because he struggles with talking in front of the class and in groups, maybe judge him on a different on something else, on written assessment, as he's quite proficient there. So that was my first one. For my second one is my school to home connection. So for this I chose a speech pathologist. So Marco's been receiving school support in the form of a speech pathologist. His pathologist Susan has been partnering with his teachers to help improve his speech, which would in turn help build his confidence in class and at home. So Marco's pathologist uses Lev Vygotsky's scaffolding to help improve his speech. So You could say that when he's in his therapy sessions, he's in the zone of proximal development. The zone of proximal development refers to the range of tasks that a child can not yet accomplish without active assistance from adults and peers with greater knowledge. So Marco listens to his pathologist Susan, and then tries to copy. So she'll teach him how to say certain words or certain activities that help in getting the words out with her, and then eventually Marco will be able to do it himself. So then she won't need to assist him as much, and eventually he'll be able to just be confident in his own speech. So she'll continue working with him until he becomes competent. This would help learning, as he will be able to participate in class discussion without facing the fears and anxieties. He can also feel confident in small group work, as he can express his ideas without restriction, which allows for more collaboration and more efficient learning. So his speech pathologist and his teachers regularly check in with John. They speak with his stepfather because Maria's English is still not great. So speaking with John just ensures that that John's aware of all the schoolwork that Marco's doing, and his improvements with speech and things of that nature. So the school support is designed to ensure that the communication between John and the school continues. So Marco can continue to improve both in and out of the classroom. Cacciatello states that the encouragement of active, positive engagement of parents with and in schools is a necessary element to students' abilities to flourish. It's also a good example of the Australian Institute of Teaching and School Leadership Standard 3.7, which is about engaging parents or carers in the educative process. My community connection is Pascoe Vale Soccer Club. So they signed him up as he really likes to play soccer, watch soccer with his father, and he also has a bit of a kick around with his dad. So his parents thought it'd be a good idea, because learning to play an intricate sport like soccer is great for a young, intelligent mind like Marco. He will increase his fine motor skills and learn the importance of teamwork, health and fitness, and what it's like to make a commitment to consistently put in effort. There are many students in primary school that start participating in sports, and for good reason. It has been reported that young people who participate in sport display higher levels of self-esteem, self-confidence, problem-solving ability, and critical life skills. So critical life skills being the physical, behavioural, and cognitive skills required to cope with the challenges of everyday life. Marco has been extremely determined since starting soccer, as his coach told him that he has natural talent. So this is evidence of Roger's humanistic orientation and learning, as he believes learning is about personal change and growth. He views that human beings have an inner drive towards self-fulfillment and maturity, and a natural potentiality for learning. That's very evident in Marco, as he naturally just wants to get better at soccer, because that'll make him feel better about himself, and he'll achieve a goal that he's set, and just really help towards the self-fulfillment. They've also seen an increase in his mood since playing with the sport club, which has helped his learning at school. This is due to the psychological benefits that come with engaging in a sport. So Marco developed achievement motivation, meaning he was constantly assessing and comparing his performances with both his previous performances and his teammates' performances. So he was just constantly striving to get better, pretty much being competitive. So he's starting to learn about what it means to be competitive. That'll help him become better both in school and at home. And so these are my references, and thank you for listening.